We just watched the trailer for Baywatch. Get ready for some boobs and balls. Did I say balls? I meant abs. Boobs and abs.
That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy.
All right, as Charlie just said,
I'm Charlie.
we watched the trailer for Baywatch. We watched the Red Band trailer for Baywatch.
Red Band trailer. F-bombs. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
Zach F-bomb.
Red Band just simply means that they can use all the curse words and everything. I'm Bethany.
I'm Zach F-bomb.
No, and that's Charlie. And welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. If you are a new listener, that's wonderful. We welcome you. For old listeners, thank you for your loyalty. And I have a couple questions for our listeners before we get started. One, if you had 4 quarters, would you make 4 wishes in a wishing well? Just throw them in there. 2, if you had 4 quarters and you dropped them into a nasty public trash can, would you dive in to fish them out? If the answer to number 1 is yes and the answer to number 2 is no, then throw your quarters in our trash can.
What if they're both no?
I don't know, man. It's just a scenario. Throw your quarters in our trash can at patreon.com. That's right, patreon.com. Type in Movie Trailer Trash Podcast.
Yeah, we're over there.
It's just $1. For as little as $1, you can hear all of our special episodes. We have end of the month episodes. We have MTT Extra. Just $1. So check us out. We appreciate the support.
We did it all for you.
Absolutely.
All right, so what is this movie, Baywatch?
That's it.
This movie is coming out May 25th, which is next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Right?
And by next Wednesday, you mean this Wednesday.
I mean this Wednesday.
It's like 3 days away.
This Wednesday we record these not in advance.
No, I'm saying this Wednesday, this week.
Yeah, I know.
Don't confuse them.
I'm not confused.
All right. The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Zach F-bomb.
Zac Efron.
And then a bunch
and
of hot,
a bunch
skinny
of
women.
that aren't quite famous yet. There is a girl that I recognized. I don't know where I recognize her from, though.
The Indian girl who was awesome on Jimmy Fallon?
No, the least attractive one. The girl who was at the morgue.
Okay.
She's like cute. She plays the cute girl and never the hot girl. And I've seen her in something, but I don't know what.
Okay.
But anyway, so obviously the main people in this movie are The Rock and Zac F-bomb. Okay?
Nice.
I'm just going with it.
Yep.
They're the comedy duo.
They're the what?
The comedy duo.
Oh, okay.
And for those of you who haven't seen Zac Efron in comedy roles, he's really funny. Go check out Neighbors and Neighbors 2. He's hysterical in both of them.
Oh, wait. These and Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Never saw that.
Haven't seen that yet. Heard it wasn't great, but it got 60-something%, and I want to see it. But that's for another time. So, yeah, he's a great comedic actor. Obviously, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is known for being funny as well. I don't think he's ever been in anything really serious. Yeah, he was just in that movie with Kevin Hart. And also, he was Maui in Moana, which is a funny character. And he was in a bunch of like kids movies, but he was always the funny character.
The Tooth Fairy?
The Tooth Fairy, that was probably funny.
The one where he plays football and has a bulldog and an
one where he plays
illegitimate child?
football. And then he was also in some movie, Space Mountain, something like that.
The Hunt for Witch Mountain?
Yeah, something like that.
Or Journey to the Center of Witch Mountain?
Okay, in fairness, I love The Rock, and I think a lot of people love The Rock, but here's the thing. I just love him because he's cool. I've seen his Instagram. He's a nice guy. He's funny. He, like, encourages people and is, like, a kind person, right? I don't think he's necessarily a great actor, but I also don't think he's a terrible actor. And I think in the right movie with the right cast around him, he could be good.
Well, what I said the other day was, they have a 21 Jump Street vibe going on.
Yes, and I'm hoping it'll be like that.
21 Jump Street was great. But I think that they tried to do 21 Jump Street, but have 2 Channing Tatums instead of a Channing Tatum and a Jonah Hill.
And I understand what you're saying, but I don't necessarily think so. The only difference is that 2 of them are attractive.
No,
That's
but they're
the only
kind
difference.
they're both dumb jocks. Like that's what they're doing.
I think that's okay though. For this is Baywatch. It would be weird to have a Jonah Hill and Baywatch.
There's gonna be a fat
random
chubby guy.
Really? Well, anyway, the thing is,
who's probably just gonna like scream a few times.
For those of you who've seen 21 Jump Street, you know what we're talking about. It's hilarious, right?
That is skinny Jonah Hill though.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, he's still not like
he's a
buff
dweeb.
He's not buff. Yeah.
You need a dweeb.
But here's the thing. Okay. I don't think that's necessarily true, first of all. Second of all, 21 Jump Street. I want to take a moment, a little tangent on that. Charlie and I, we're both too young to have seen 21 Jump Street, the show. Like, that's not a show that we ever saw. So when it came out, we were like, that's weird that they're taking some old show and making a movie out of it. And I don't know, like, I can't even say, but I don't think it was anything like the show. Other than the concept that there were young people.
No, the show was like a bad,
just being cops.
A bad.
Yeah, it was just like
80s,
a show
80s,
where a guy
like,
was an undercover cop, right?
Yeah, silly crime.
So
thing.
I don't know, but I remember we were skeptical, and then we were told it was funny. We saw it, and it was awesome, like super funny.
Just didn't. I refused to watch it for a very long time.
I don't think it was that long.
Pretty long.
I don't think we saw it in theater, but when we saw it, we loved it.
We definitely didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah, we were just like, here's the thing. Channing Tatum at the time hadn't really done anything worth watching. He had been in those dance movies.
Step Up?
Yeah, and so I think that Charlie
He was also in Coach Carter.
I think Charlie especially was like, I don't want to go see a movie with Channing Tatum as the lead.
And also I was very against skinny Jonah Hill.
Yeah, that's silly.
I wanted him to be fat. I need my Jonah Hill fat. And he's back to being fat again, which is lovely.
We saw him. No, he's a little too fat, though. I'm kind of worried about him. But listen, we saw 21 Jump Street, right?
Obviously his body type.
And it changed our opinion of Channing Tatum, right? We're like, oh my God, he's funny. Like, he's a good comedic actor. And this is something I think is interesting that I've noticed, is this trend where you don't have to be fat to be the funny guy. Because, I mean, these stereotypes, first of all, we should avoid stereotypes in general. Fat people aren't always funny, and they shouldn't always be not taken seriously. And attractive people shouldn't always just be, the hot superhero saving people's lives. They can also be funny and silly and goofy.
The hot guy, the tall, hot, attractive guy is finally getting a chance to shine.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's good. I think that attractive people can be funny. Let's break the stereotype. I understand that this is stupid because attractive people have it easy in life. Sure, whatever. But I mean, for real. And I'm just saying, because if you break all the stereotypes, the world would be better. I want humor. And if you're funny, I want to see you. I don't care if you're hot or not.
Okay.
Zac Efron's funny.
So
is Channing Tatum.
I have never seen Zac Efron
in anything else
besides Neighbors, but he's great in Neighbors. So
yeah, he's hilarious. And he was in both of them, and he was great in both of them. Very funny.
And he looks to be basically the same person.
Yeah. And so I have high hopes for this. The only thing that makes me kind of nervous is that the action stuff. But in 21 Jump Street, they had a lot of silly action too,
Yeah.
I know that if you're going to enjoy this movie, you have to just go in and be like, this is going to be a silly, ridiculous movie. It's like watching Dodgeball or, I don't know, another silly, ridiculous
movie. No, but this
just
one is
know
like,
that it's supposed to be unbelievable and ridiculous and silly and fun.
If you're going in knowing that this is going to be one-liners and for me to look at people that are very attractive.
But I don't even think
no
it's
matter
be
what
that
gender
much.
you are.
I
think it is.
I don't.
I mean, it's not going to be like
they will be
hey,
attractive, but it
look
will
at
not.
This.
Yeah, it won't be like some action.
Everyone's
movies.
going to have their clothes.
They'll
off
just
the
all be
whole
attractive,
time.
but I don't think that that's going to be necessarily the feature. They might make jokes about it. Like, does she look like she's running in slow motion? They do that in one of the commercials, in one of the trailers we saw. One thing about this trailer specifically, the red band one, that really reminded me of 21 Jump Street is when they're talking to the cop, and he's like, "Yeah, but we were in lifeguard pursuit," and the guy's like, "Oh, okay," except that there's no effing thing called lifeguard pursuit. But he like,
is that Zac Efron in there?
Yeah, he yells at him. But the thing is, that reminded me of when in 21 Jump Street when they're telling him about how like what's his name? From
Ice Cube?
Ron from
Swanson?
Ron Swanson, what's his name?
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum are talking to Nick Offerman, and he's like, "You didn't read him his Miranda rights." And they're like, "Yeah." And he says, "Do you even know the Miranda rights?" And Jonah Hill says, or no, Channing Tatum says, "You have the right to be an attorney?" Or no, Jonah Hill does. And then he goes, "No, that's not it." And Channing Tatum's like, "But you do have the right to be an attorney if you want." Anyway, just, okay. I'm not great at, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Otherwise I would have quoted it perfectly, I swear. But
so
it's funny. Like,
convoluted.
It looked so much like that. He's talking to the authority figure about handling a crime scene or handling some sort of criminal that they shouldn't have been handling in that way. And they're like, "But, we were doing the right thing." And he's like, "Nope, you weren't."
Yeah. I think that there's going to be like a lot of jokes. one-liners and stuff like that. The thing that worries me about this movie is who it's being directed and written by. It's being directed by Seth Gordon, who was the director of Horrible Bosses, which
I
liked,
love that movie.
which we loved, actually. A lot of people don't like it.
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Who doesn't like the first one?
I don't know. I mean, it's just
I
like
need
an
names.
average
I
movie.
need a
It's
list.
like one of those. It's just not like, you know.
No.
That's what people think of it.
What? It's a comedic movie with Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe?
Nope.
Dang it. You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, but you got it.
Jennifer Aniston.
That's not it.
Now I'm losing it. Charlie Day, Jason Sudeikis, Jason Bateman, and Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Yes.
I knew if I gave you
I
enough
don't
time.
always do it. And here's the thing. Amazing cast.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day are hysterical together. And the bad bosses, the evil ones, are really good at being like totally despicable. And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it has so many good lines. It's well written. It's well produced. I heard the second one was really bad, but I honestly would probably still watch it because it's got to have funny moments if those three guys are in it.
So he directed that, but he also directed Identity Thief, which is that movie with
Identity
Jason
Thief.
Bateman and Melissa McCarthy, where she steals his
Ooh,
identity.
That looked bad.
which I believe
And
is
got
very bad. And also Four Christmases. Do you remember that movie? It's Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, and they have to spend a bunch of different Christmases at different people's houses. And
Yeah,
it's
that
like
doesn't sound good.
worst movie ever.
But
so
here's
he's
the
got
thing.
one good movie under
That's
his belt.
who,
And
the
that's
writer
it.
or the director?
Director.
Okay.
The writer, there are 7 writing credits.
Okay.
Now,
That's a lot.
and that's not including the people who they gave credits for creating the original Baywatch series.
Okay.
One group of those writers who are responsible for the story also wrote Norbit.
Okay.
Do you know what Norbit is?
No idea. Heard it before. Don't
It's
know
an
what it
Eddie
is.
Murphy movie where
Okay.
he dresses up as a big fat woman
Okay, yeah.
and
I've seen
falls
that
in love
cover.
with
Yeah.
himself.
He
It's-
falls in love with himself.
Well, he plays
That's
one
the
of
plot?
he plays one of the roles, and he also plays the big fat woman.
Okay. He
And-
doesn't actually fall in love with his character. His character doesn't fall in love with himself.
No.
I thought it was like some weird split personality thing.
That's one of the worst movies ever.
Okay, I've never seen it.
They also wrote the story for The Zookeeper,
The Zookeeper.
which is the Kevin James movie where he is a zookeeper
no.
and can talk to all the animals.
Oh no.
And Smurfs and Smurfs 2.
Okay, in fairness, I doubt those are great, but that doesn't mean that they're poorly written. I don't know. They might have some funny jokes. They're kids' movies. Who knows? But okay,
They're
please tell
probably
me.
very, very bad.
Please tell me there's another group of writers who wrote better things.
There's 2 other writers who are the silver lining to this cavalcade of crap.
To this playbook.
To this playbook. 2 guys, Tom Lennon and Robert Ben Garant.
John Lennon.
Tom Lennon.
Oh, okay.
And Tom
I knew,
Lennon,
I was just joking.
both of those guys are the guys that created and wrote all of Reno 911.
Oh lordy.
Tom Lennon is the guy with the short shorts.
Oh my god.
And the other guy is the guy with the sunglasses.
The guy with the short shorts is hysterical. So they acted in Reno 911 and wrote.
They wrote
For it?
They created and wrote it, and they were in it.
Those guys are
And,
hysterical.
Tom Lennon was also the co-creator of a show called The State, which is, I think it was on MTV or Comedy Central, one of those, and it was like a sketch show, and it was him and all of those guys from Wet Hot American Summer.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
it's very, very funny, but I can't find it anywhere
That's
to
a
watch
good
it.
silver lining.
And they also wrote all of the Night at the Museum movies, which are good.
I love those. Okay, here's
Those
the
are
thing.
good. They're different from those other things.
But
they're kind of
well
family,
written, especially the first one.
you know, they're family friendly,
movies.
but they're good.
The first one's good. Second one's decent. I haven't seen the third
See,
one.
that's
but
the difference
I'm
between
going to.
Smurfs and Night at the Museum.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But okay, that's a good silver lining because Reno 911 is hysterical,
Yeah.
but also it's like very much this type of a movie.
Mhm.
Like this movie fits that idea.
That's
the
probably, and
cops
you know what?
being ridiculous.
They wrote the
lifeguards being
screenplay.
ridiculous.
So those 2 guys wrote the screenplay,
That's good.
and the other people wrote the story. So
So it
that
very
makes
well
me feel
could have
better.
just been people who were like, "Here's a concept,"
'Cause
and then they wrote the script.
The story doesn't really matter in this movie at all. It's
No.
all about the lines, the one-liners,
Well,
how they're
just like-
delivered, and like seeing breasts.
Well, okay, sure, but just like how the story doesn't matter in Reno 911.
Right.
If you're telling somebody about a funny episode, you're not like, it was funny because here's the scenario.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, it was funny because they said this hilarious thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Awesome.
that's the good thing that comes of it. We know that the director can direct well if given really good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Because also Horrible Bosses was, even if you didn't like the story or whatever, it was really well made.
Yeah.
It was produced really well.
That is something that I noticed
the
about
scenes
it when we saw
flowed
it.
really well. It was beautiful. Like it looked good.
Is that it was better made than
It
most
was good
comedies.
quality. Yeah, it was really good quality. So I'm excited. I think I really just don't want to be let down. I hate getting excited about comedies and then being let down, but I feel like
I don't think
it
you
looks
can
good.
get let down. If
looks
anything, you'll just leave being like, that was stupider than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Maybe.
You'll just be like, there are too many dick in the ass jokes for my
here's
liking.
the thing. I will say this. It has been a while, I think, since there's been a movie of this style of comedy in a while. Like, it's been a while. 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. And then there was The Other Guys. Or, no, The Other Guys?
No, that was before 21 Jump Street.
But what is that? That's the one with the cops, right?
Uh-huh.
But that brand of humor. The Other Guys, yeah, that was a while back, too. That's what I'm saying. What recent movies? Neighbors and Neighbors 2 are the only real recent movies of this style of humor, this kind of humor.
Yeah.
And maybe Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
But it was bad,
But
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, like, I'm excited for this brand of humor to kind of make a resurgence and be funny because, honestly, just humor in general has kind of been left up to Marvel, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, they've kind of been like, we don't need comedies. We'll just throw some comedy in these hilarious superhero movies.
Well, and also, they're not even making very good indie comedies anymore.
Yeah. It's just, we've been on a little bit of a comedy drought. But I'm hoping, obviously the world needs to laugh right now. We need to laugh. It's not a happy time for America, and we need to laugh.
We need to laugh at ourselves or whatever.
But let's get some more comedies. I'm hoping for more comedies.
All right, well, let's move on to where, when, and how you're going to see this movie. Keep in mind it comes out on Wednesday.
Where? When? How?
Are you going to see this movie?
Okay, where, when, and how am I going to see this movie? I actually would like to see this movie in theater, and I would like to see it like this Thursday. That's a very specific when. A lot of times I'll just say on some weekend, whatever. But this is what I'm saying, okay? I didn't realize it was coming out this weekend until I suggested we do it for this episode, or this week, in the middle of the week. And it's weird that it's coming out in the middle of the week, but this weekend is going to be busy because it's Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of people are going to be out and about. And I want to go see it at the Alamo Draft House in Kansas City and just see it on a Thursday night. Why not?
Okay.
What do we got going on Thursdays?
There's a lot of reasons why I disagree.
Wait, hang on. Did I say when, how? Okay, yeah. I said all of it.
Did I say when, how, and how?
And where? Okay.
And where and
got
how?
It. Yeah.
Wait, did I mention how?
Well, because think about it. We can walk there. It's probably going to be decent weather.
Here are all the reasons you're wrong, and
what
you
a great
should not
Thursday.
do that. Don't do that. First of all, I'm going to wait until all of the reviews are in before I even consider
I'm so
go
sick
seeing
of
this
doing
movie.
that.
No, because this one is the one you want to do for that. The one you don't want to do that for is Wonder Woman, which comes out soon.
Absolutely. That one we gotta see.
You don't want that to be ruined for you. You want to go in with your perceptions
untainted.
Yes.
Yeah, because you want to go in and say, let's watch a badass woman be a badass, and please don't fail me.
But I want to know if
yeah.
this is going to be good and funny and exactly what I expect before going to see it, because I don't want to waste my money on a terrible movie.
But comedy is so subjective.
Well, yeah, but as long as it's, decently rated, then I'm fine.
I guess if it came out with 17%, then I'd be worried.
I do not want to see it.
But if it got like
I don't want to see
60%, I think I'd still be good.
In the theater.
I do.
I want to rent it later or watch it on some sort of streaming service because I'm convinced that it won't be special, first of all. And second of all, I don't want to be in the theater with the crowd that goes to see Baywatch on opening weekend.
This is such a 21 Jump Street moment for you.
Maybe.
You're like...
What if it's terrible?
Yeah, but you're talking about it like 21 Jump Street. You're like...
Yeah, I am.
I don't want to be disappointed. It may be bad, but it looks good.
Think about all of the movies that have been bad that look bad, though. 21 Jump Street is the exception that proves the rule.
You can tell.
Woman.
You can tell in this trailer that it's better than like Identity Theft. You know what I mean? There are certain movies where when you see the trailer, it's so apparent that it's going to be very trite comedy, like done before, obvious. You see it coming. It's poorly delivered. You can tell in some movies that it's going to be that. And then sometimes you're even surprised. Like that movie Spy with Melissa McCarthy. That trailer looked terrible. I was like, this is probably going to be a bad movie. And we ended
but that's
up
different
seeing
because that's Paul Feig. And so he gets all of his trailers are bad.
Well, that's silly. But
Yeah.
like do better then.
Well, he's not making the trailer.
Well, find people who are better than to make your trailer. But okay, the point is, I didn't know that, but you and I ended up seeing it just because we had nothing to do one weekend. And it was really funny.
No, we ended up seeing it because someone said it was good.
Yeah, but also because we had nothing to do. It wasn't like...
Well, if we had
We were
something to
super
do, we're
stoked
not going to
about
go
it.
see a movie regardless.
We will if it's a good movie. We'll set that thing we have to do aside.
What is the thing we have to do?
Laundry.
Oh, what? That's not a thing to do.
No. Okay, I get you. I hear you.
Laundry.
I understand you. However, this is the reason I want to see it this Thursday. What are we doing on a Thursday, right?
Anything else?
Nothing else is the point. Also, it's Alamo Drafthouse. We'll just be in there. It'll probably be somewhat empty. I love it when we go to Alamo Drafthouse.
Why would
and
it be empty?
It's not full.
It's Memorial Day weekend, and it's a comedy for
in fairness,
high
people might have
schoolers
Friday off. Some people might be
and
taking Friday off.
frat guys.
So fine, let's go Wednesday night.
no, I don't want to see it.
I want to see it this weekend.
On
We've
opening
got
weekend.
literally. Here's the thing: we've got nothing planned for this weekend, guys. It's Memorial Day weekend. I
Wouldn't
hope you
you
all have fun
rather-
plans. I hope you have cookouts to go to. But
Wouldn't you rather just
We've got
stay
nothing
in
planned.
and rent Alien instead?
no,
Why?
because I want to see a fun comedy. I don't want to see Alien.
Alien is such a fun comedy.
Look, we
it's
can
so
stay
goofy.
in. We could stay in and rent The Nice Guys.
It's a wild romp.
Hey, we could stay in and watch The Nice Guys because I've still not seen that, and you say that's funny.
I'm all right with that.
But
I would rather do
I
that.
really want to go and see this movie. I'm just saying. It's been forever since I've seen a comedy in theater.
That
The last
part
comedy I saw in theater
with the Alien.
was Neighbors 2. And it was funny. And it was great. And I loved it.
But it was bad at Alamo Drafthouse.
The only reason was because we were in a small theater.
And we went at
and
like
people didn't
11:30
seem
in
to
the
get
morning.
it. People didn't seem to get it. It was like a bunch of older people, like 40s plus,
Neighbors
but
2?
older than us.
What
no,
is
no,
going on
it wasn't
here?
elderly people, but it was older than us. Okay, we're in our 20s, so we were there, and literally at one point I realized that the only people laughing were us, but we couldn't stop because it was so funny, and I was like, "What are these people not getting? Like, what are they not understanding about this?" And I've heard, by the way, some people that I know say, "Oh, Neighbors 2 isn't any good." Well, I say to you, you're stupid and sexist.
What?
Because
No. You can't
Yes.
unless they say something
It's
sexist to
subconscious.
you. You can't just assume that they're sexist.
you're right, but it's subconscious.
because it's a
it's
you know,
subconscious.
female
Because it's hysterical.
lead.
It's really well done. They had a good plot, and it wasn't a female lead. It was really Zac Efron was the lead in this one still. But in the movie, like in the first movie, it's literally like all dick jokes, and it's funny dick jokes,
Well,
and
no,
I like
the,
it.
the second one definitely is not as good as the first one, but
I
it's
disagree.
still good.
I disagree. I might have liked it better. I like it.
We got
probably
ourselves
equally.
a regular Godfather Part 2 argument going on.
Here's the thing.
It's
All I'm
the
saying is
same argument.
they're very similar movies, Neighbors 1 and 2. They're both done very well, and they follow the same formula. However, I thought that I was nervous that Neighbors 2 was going to shove their feminism down your throat. Because the whole idea is like, why can't girls have parties at their sororities? This is stupid. And it is stupid.
Do you think
but,
those were actually Zac Efron's balls?
Oh, I don't want to think about that. Nor do I care. But what I'm saying is the feminist jokes in here and the little things that talked about feminism, they weren't like over the top or like preachy. It was just funny. Like there was one part where they were throwing their dirty tampons at the house and it was gross. And Zac Efron's like, that is so gross. That is too gross. And she's like, that's just because you're a guy. You would think it was funny if we threw like a bag of dicks at their house. And he was like, haha, bag of dicks. And that's hilarious. So like, I'm just saying, don't listen to the haters. Haters gonna hate.
All right, let's move on to the Rotten Tomatoes percentages for this movie. Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
I would like to go first on this one.
Well, too bad because
Oh,
I'm
no!
started. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think that the Rotten Tomatoes percentage for this is gonna be 72% for critics. I was going to go 68, but I went ahead and bumped it up to 72 because I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to get as good of reviews as 21 Jump Street, but I think it'll be very funny, and I think it'll be along those lines. Audience, I would say, are going to give it 81. Because they're going to like it more because they're not going to be as critical as the critics.
That's insane. You're insane.
Okay, what do you think? What do you think?
Sorry. I laughed so aggressively that I rammed my head into my microphone on accident. Critics will give it a 43%, and audience will give it a 66%.
Okay, see, this is the thing that's confusing to me is you spent this entire time basically saying it looked pretty good, and then you're like, this is going to be an awful movie.
No, it's not going to be. It's going to
What
be
are you
exactly what
thinking?
I think it is. Where it's going to have
No.
one-liners, and it's going to have fancy, extravagantly.
You gave it a score
know.
like it's. You gave it a score as if it was the movie where they needed one big Johnson and one little heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be like that. You can tell.
Well, it's not going to
tell.
be like that, but
No,
it's going to be the same
you can
quality.
tell by a trailer if it's going to be that quality or not. This is above 50%. I
think it's going to be the same quality.
I am betting you right now.
What are we betting?
4 quarters.
4 quarters?
I am betting
I
you
normally
4
throw those in the trash can.
I am betting you 4 quarters that it will be above 50% at the very least.
Writing down right now 4 quarters.
I'm serious. I think you're crazy.
50 plus.
You basically are saying that this looks like a bad movie, but you never said that throughout.
No, it's just not a like.
This looks like a good movie.
It's not. It's here's the thing.
Listen, if Ghostbusters with girls got above 50%, this is getting above 50%.
No, because that was well written.
This is too.
You don't know.
It looks funny. It looks funny. It looks well done. It looks well made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you talking about? How this is like I feel like I feel like a robot possessed your body.
Replicant.
I feel really confused. I feel like you tricked me. Like you
just got tricked.
Yeah, like you were tricking me this whole time. Like, psych, I actually think it's going to be terrible.
No, it's just going to be not good. It's not like a good movie.
The guys who wrote Horrible Bosses are writing it.
No.
No,
The guy who
directed.
directed Horrible Bosses.
Okay, the guys who wrote Reno 911 are writing it.
Maybe some of it.
You said they wrote the screenplay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're
matters.
credited as.
That's what matters.
I mean, yes, but that's the whole point is that the
Listen.
story, if the story in your movie doesn't matter, then it's not a good movie.
I think nowadays that if you laugh during the trailer, then it's probably it's going to be above 50% because
You know that I laugh during anything.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
There's no way you laughed during the trailer for Identity Theft.
Probably.
No.
At least once.
And there's no way
if
you
someone
laughed.
almost 100% of the time, if someone is trying to be funny, I will have some sort of laughter for them
I disagree.
within my body.
I disagree. I'm around you a lot, and I disagree. It is not common to see a trailer that is very funny. This trailer is very funny, and I will say this, they do a good job of not ruining the whole plot for you, which I don't think that the plot's what's important, but still I'm glad because I hate trailers that give too much away. You're crazy. You're crazy. And I'm really excited to see who, like the...
Framed Roger Rabbit.
No. Like on our website, we always put up what the actual
who's
ratings
closer?
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious because, I mean, I know I'm going to be closer.
No, you don't.
I know I'm going to be better than you because there's not going to be under 50%. But I'm curious as to how close I am to being right.
They're not going to give this stupid comedy 70%.
They gave... No. You're wrong. You're wrong.
did they give?
Because Neighbors 2 got 60-something%.
Neighbors 2 got 59, I think.
No.
And the first Neighbors
No.
got like 63.
No.
Let's go to the phones.
You're wrong. You're wrong. No, we don't have time to go to the phones.
Let's go to the
We're
phones.
time is running out. The hourglass is running thin.
There's no such hourglass.
Listen, I'm telling you, it got 67%.
Well, let's find out.
Maybe it was audience and not critics.
Oh,
but
now she's going back.
I know
on
it got 60
After
something percent.
going
I'm
to the
gonna say
phones.
67. I'm going 67 on Neighbors 2.
Neighbors 2 got
67.
62
Okay.
and a 45 from audience.
What? That's sexism. That's
Don't
rude.
know. You don't
No,
know that.
that's ridiculous. That's a
accidentally playing the
hysterical
trailer.
movie.
Okay.
That's a funny movie. Well written. The plot was good. They were able to like make it the same without making it just exactly the same. They gave us an interesting new plot. And instead of it being about, people in the stage of life where they're new parents, it was about a kid in the stage of life when he's just fresh out of college and doesn't know what he wants to do with his life.
Uh-huh.
It was good. It was great. And what is wrong with people?
The First Neighbors got 73.
I am sick of the cynicism in the world.
The audience
Can we
gave
just
it a
have some
63.
people enjoy themselves instead of trying to poke holes in something that's beautiful and wonderful?
Beautiful?
Yeah. Well, that's the Zac Efron part of it. Is beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
No, I'm
he
just
looks like
saying,
he was designed in a lab.
This is the reason that I say I almost maybe liked it but more than the first one is because of that scene where they're running around and the pregnant woman's dressed up as a cheerleader and they're trying to grab the giant
like
bags
the
of
pep
weed.
rally?
They're trying to
Whatever that
grab the
was.
giant bags of weed and steal them from the girls so the girls don't get in trouble.
The
and
first
it's
one,
really funny.
The audience gave it a 63. So it was just as critics liked it more both times.
But that's
than
what I'm
the
saying.
audience.
Like, what is wrong with people? This is why nobody's making comedies because nobody's enjoying them anymore, even when they are good. Like, what is wrong with our society
They're very
that we've all
harshly
decided
judged. I have
to
noticed
judge
that.
so harshly? Because that didn't used to be the case. Like when Dodgeball came out, everybody loved Dodgeball. There wasn't like a bunch of harsh criticism, and that movie's stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. What is happening?
Here's the thing. Would you give Dodgeball up into an 80%?
No, probably 60%.
Right. So.
But that's what I'm saying. Under 50%, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for this. That's ridiculous for Neighbors 2.
Dodgeball is like one of my favorite comedies. Well, probably not of all time, but
you were at
I mean,
the perfect age for
it's
it
up there.
when it came out. But
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's really funny. I Love You, Man, Role Models. Those movies I would give in 70%.
Those two would go up closer to 80 for me.
Yeah, 70 to 80%. Those are great movies. Horrible Bosses, I would at least put in 70% range.
Yeah, but let's go to the phones on that one.
Oh, we'll go to the phones. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little frustrated because
Oops.
I don't understand the cynicism and the, like, harshly reviewed comedies. I get that comedy is subjective, sure, but I feel like people just don't want to have fun. Like, why are people not wanting to have fun anymore?
So it got a 68.
68, and I think it at least deserves that. I would have probably given it 10 more points.
I think that it's
78.
one of the more underrated comedies I've ever seen.
I think that a lot of people didn't see it. I think that's one of the problems. It could have
Yeah.
been just that it wasn't advertised right or whatever. But here's the thing. Do you see what I'm saying though about the cynicism? It makes me feel sad that people aren't enjoying these really funny movies because these are some of the only funny movies that have come out recently. So if they're not enjoying these, like, what are we enjoying? Are we just gonna watch Spotlight and Moonlight and light movies now?
Another different kind of light.
Are we gonna just watch, very serious, well-made, Oscar-winning
all
movies,
you get
or are
is
we gonna
just
have fun?
depressing terribleness or a Marvel movie, and
Yeah,
that's it.
because look, Deadpool is hilarious, one of the best comedies we've had in a while, but it is still a Marvel movie.
Well,
It is still a comic book movie,
yes,
and
technically it's Marvel, but it's not Marvel Studios. It's
sure.
Fox.
But the point is, you're right. Like, we either get super depressing Manchester by the Sea or hilarious comic book movie.
Yeah,
I
Ant-Man.
just want to laugh. I just want to laugh.
Sometimes
and
you
I'm
just wanna
feeling
laugh.
like that's why I want to watch this. I want to watch it opening weekend. I want to give it a chance. I want to stop letting the reviews keep me from watching things. Because, like, here's the thing. I have friends who will, like, be like, oh, it got an 18% by audience and critics. Well, I think it's going to be good anyway. And I'm like, you're a ridiculous person and not very bright. And when I say friends, they're really not my friends at all. Just people I know.
What
but
movie are you talking about?
just The Circle. Like, I knew somebody who was like, well, I'm going to watch it this weekend and it's going to be great. And I'm like, you're stupid. Because I wanted it to be good too, sure, obviously, but it clearly isn't. If the audience is giving it 20%, it can't be good because the audience is way more forgiving than the critics. But the point is, so I get that, like, if everybody's saying this is terrible, it's awful, it probably is. But if people are, giving it mixed reviews, I'm sick of letting it sway me too much. I want to have fun. Sometimes I want to go to the movie before looking at the score. When the trailer is good enough that
We'll do that with Wonder Woman. Promise.
obviously, but when the trailer is really good, then I think you should go off the trailer. Because Suicide Squad, people would argue Suicide Squad trailer was good. I would argue no, it was not.
No,
the
it
music
was.
was good. No, the first trailer was terrible.
It was action scenes.
It doesn't
put
matter.
to Bohemian
It doesn't
Rhapsody.
matter because
That's
if you
always
had
good.
seen any of the other trailer, the very first trailer looked
No,
like the worst movie
if
ever.
you only saw that trailer, you would be super pumped about going in to see that movie, and then it would be terrible, and you would hate yourself.
Sure, but what I'm saying is the first trailer. If anybody watched the first trailer, it was awful. It had terrible, like, dialogue, and it was very clearly poorly written in the trailer. Now, sure, if you just put an awesome song to action, whatever, that's fine. But that's not what happened in this trailer, is it?
No.
No. This trailer had
Although there
funny-
was an awesome song in it.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
Wasn't it?
It wasn't memorable to me.
It was DMX.
Oh. It wasn't like
Which, by the way, isn't that the same song that was in the Deadpool trailer?
I don't know,
X
but it
gonna give
wasn't.
it to you?
It wasn't the loudest thing, though. You know what I mean?
Give
Like,
it to you.
there are certain trailers where the song is so overbearing that you barely can hear anything else. That's not how this was. I didn't even notice the song. It's like mostly.
Well, because it was a long trailer.
Well,
They
it was a
didn't play the
trailer
whole
with
thing.
lots of different lines, and it showed you a little bit of the movie, and it looked funny.
All right, so I think it's going to be bad. Bethany thinks it's going to be good. Maybe you can tell us what you're going to think of it on our Twitter. You can follow us at MTT Podcast. You can go to our website, mttpodcast.com. You can go to our Facebook. What do you search for our Facebook?
Movie Trailer Trash Podcast.
Movie Trailer Trash Podcast. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff there behind the scenes things. Go to our Patreon. You can give us one of those 4 quarters. Maybe you can get
One
4
of those
friends.
4 quarters.
You can get 4 friends to each give a quarter to you, and then you could put that towards that.
And then all 4 of you can listen to it.
Throw
It's-
it in the trash.
Cheat the system.
Cheat it. We don't care.
Cheat the system. Throw us 4 quarters. That's all we want.
I want your quarters.
No, but please like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
We're pretty excited to be on there because we're going to be definitely releasing some Facebook only content, and I'm just getting it started.
Go rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. That's very helpful, very useful. And as always, follow Entertainment Buffet at Entertain Buffet on Twitter and subscribe to their channel on YouTube, Entertainment Buffet.
And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, folks.
We'll see you guys soon.
Boobs and balls.
Oh my goodness.